Good morning or good afternoon. So I had an interesting dream last night.
You have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you. It was crazy. I was like in a park, like in a community center type park thing, and I was sitting there chilling. And then all of a sudden, I got up and I wanted to start taking pictures. You know how they be having me taking pictures in front of these statues and murals and stuff. So I went over to take a picture in front of this huge samurai warrior. It was like I don't know, 20-foot tall, 30-foot tall samurai warrior. And he had this sword and he had his whole regalia on. It was beautiful. And I went to take a picture in front of him, and I was like, okay, I need to set my blanket down because I had this blanket with me. I was like, I need to set this blanket down and take this picture. So I went to go set my blanket down, and this dude, it was this white man, like, you know, he was white, he had short brown hair, he's probably like in his 30s or whatever. And he came over and he was trying to steal my blanket. So I went over to him and I started kicking his ass. I was fucking him up. And this old white lady came out. She had blonde hair. And I guess she worked for the community center or whatever. She was like, you're always beating motherfuckers up here. I was like, you started stealing my blanket. She was like, I don't care. You're beating him up. I'm going to call somebody. I guess she went to call security on me. And so I was like, okay, motherfucker, call security. I don't give a fuck, bitch. And next thing you know, she's walking to like where the security, you know, first she was standing there on her little microphone or whatever, and then she started walking. She started walking over to, you know, like the office or whatever in this little community center, or big community center, because it was a big place. And so I went over there and I was getting ready to talk my shit, right? And I get in line and I hear somebody say Nipsey. And I'm looking around and I hear one of the security guards that was standing there saying, yeah, he's getting ready to perform. It's going to be Nipsey week. And I was like, what? I was like, ooh, I wanna go. And so I look over on this calendar board and it said Nipsey week. And it was like the third week of the month. I guess it was the month we're in now. It was like the third week of the month. And I was like, damn, he's going to perform every day of the week. And I was like, man, I wonder if I got enough money to be able to see him every day of the week. If I want to see this shit, I would bust my boob, you know? And he was like, well, we want to have him Friday. We know for sure we can get him Friday. And I don't know if it's going to be this Friday or the next Friday. So the Friday it was at that moment was like the second week in the month. And so I was like, well, how much are the tickets going to be? He's like $39.99. I was like, okay. So I'm all happy. I was like, fuck, you know, telling on, you know, going off on them for trying to tell on me or whatever. Because you know me, I'm that type. You try to tell on me, bitch, I'm about to try to tell on you and get my clown on, or just clown period for you trying to go there with me. So I was like, fuck all that. I don't even give a damn. So I went to leave and I realized my bag wasn't in there. And I had this brown paper bag. I guess that's where my blanket was or whatever. And somebody, I guess the security had picked it up and put it outside in this plastic container, you know, like the ones they have at the airport when you're going through security, or when you go into a building, you have to put your stuff into a scanner and you put it into that little plastic tray. It was something like that, but it was like wet at the bottom. I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck wet my shit up? And I was like, I don't care, I gotta go. You know, I'm all excited, think about how I'm gonna save up some money, because it's either I gotta eat or I gotta go see Nipsey. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna eat this month, because I'm going to see Nipsey for sure. And so I'm leaving, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here and make make this bus. There go my baby. Baby, I'm so focused on this cash. Her brother playing Nipsey. Her brother in the blue car. So I'm like, let me hurry up and get this shit out for this video cut off. So I'm like, okay. So I go to walk, to go to the bus, and I see this guy I grew up with in high school. He's like a tall, light-skinned dude with a bald head, and he's walking. He's like, oh, the bus stop's over here. You can get on the 40. I was like, oh, good, the 40 go right by my house. But in this dream, I was like in Seattle. I was like, see my bag? I love this bag. I was like in Seattle, so I was like, okay, you know, that one goes to my house. But he was like going to another part of this community center that was like, it was like, you know, blocks long or whatever. So he goes into this other part, and it's like a part where, you know, I don't know what they were doing in there, but I remember walking through the line trying to follow this guy, and there was like a line of people, brothers, and I was like, oh, excuse me. They was like, don't worry about it. And they stopped what they were doing. And when I looked back, they were not video, but Xeroxing some shit. It was like a Xerox line or whatever, like the office part of some community center. And I didn't know where my friend went. I guess he was in a bathroom or something. And all of a sudden, I look at this TV screen that's in there, and Nipsey's on the TV screen, and he's saying something. For the love of me, I can't remember what he was saying, but it was like a clip of him giving wisdom or something like that. And I just remember it looked like he was talking directly to me. It was like kind of like in black and white. He had a suit on, he had a beard, so I know it was, and it wasn't a long beard, but it was a beard. So that kind of tell me around the time frame that video was made. And then I went into another area, and there were some older men sitting on this couch. It was a brown leather couch, and they were talking. And one of them got up real quick, and he walked in front of me, and he kind of dropped his backpack. And he was like, oh, excuse me, mama. And I was like, oh, no worries, you know. He was like, you need anything? I was like, actually, I need some weed. He was like, oh, I got some in my bag. So he goes to get in his bag. He's like, I got some good shit. My homeboy gave me this shit. So I was like, okay. So he goes to dig in his bag, and he sits down on this couch in front of this other brother, this older brother. They were sitting there talking, and they was talking about where they got the weed from and how his homeboy sell weed, you know, but he don't sell in his weed store no more. He was saying he sell at other places, you know, by word of mouth or whatever. And the man was like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, right now it's easier to sell your weed at a barbershop. And I was like, at a barbershop? I said, okay, that makes sense. And he was like, yeah, you know, it's easy to sell at a barbershop. That way you ain't got the feds in your face. And I was thinking, well, shit, weed's legal. Then I was thinking about it. They do be shutting weed shops down for some bullshit, especially out here in Seattle. But in my dream, I guess I was kind of supposed to be in Seattle. And then the old man started dishing out some weed. He opens the bag, and it was some big-ass buds of some pretty-ass weed. And he started taking some out to put into another little container for me, and he dropped the shit on the ground. I remember helping him pick it up. And then I just woke up, and I was like, damn, I had a dream about my baby. And he was on a TV screen talking to me. And he was coming to do a concert. And I was thinking about, I need to get tickets to go see my baby. Go see my baby Nipsey. So I just wanted to say that.